Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John. This is Many a True Nerd, and this is Mass Effect No Guns. And we are finishing up some of the more interesting submissions today, starting off with Helena Blake and her crime boss colleagues. So in this, there's aside from some good loot, there is only one planet you can land on, and that is Klensal. So this is the icy world of Klensal, like icy worlds in Mass Effect. They always look pretty. And this world is basically for... You may remember we ran into Helena Blake during one of our brief visits to... I think it was actually on our second visit to the Citadel. So that was actually quite a long time ago. And her mission, in case you've forgotten, basically said she has two associates who are crime bosses. She wants you to murder both of them, apparently just, you know, out of the goodness of your heart, and then leave her to be the person who's ruling the criminal organisation. Now, apparently, yeah, she thinks that's all fine and dandy. But you know, I want to complete this game as fully as possible, really. So I am actually going to do this mission. I'm going to off-screen the actual fights for the most part, unless anything interesting happens, because the fights don't happen in interesting environments. It's environments you've already seen, it's enemies you've already seen. There's nothing really new or exciting here, to be honest. So unless something unexpected occurs, I'm going to cut out these particular fights. As for crime boss number one, as you can see here, he is in a mine. So we just have to take care of the people who are in front of the mine first. And that will not be a problem at all, because there are not very many of them. Oh, they're hiding behind a barricade. That's cute. Hi, guys. Yep, hello. Lovely thing about fighting outside is, of course, there's no ceiling, which means you can just do this. Bye. So, lovely. Let's just nip inside, and we will be fighting everyone in the mine. But, yes, let's see if this is... see what's in here. Oh, that's the crime boss himself. Be careful of him, obviously. Let's just throw a warp at him. And a throw, just to hurt him a bit. My warp's going to be off cooldown in a second. There it goes. Oh, that hurt. Let's just let him get up. And then immediately lift him again. And that should be the end of him. Yep, crime boss dead. Crime lord has been defeated. Okay, so that's one down. Let's just loot the place quickly. I will see you back up at the Normandy. Now, as we're dealing with the crime lords, the second crime lord takes us to Gemini Sigma. So first things first, I've headed to the north one, Ming. And in Ming, we will find this ship is the only real thing of interest. So the ship appears to be in a shutdown state. Let's just have it explore. So we've got this mysteriously empty ship. And as you can see, there's no red on the map whatsoever.
Did you hear that? Sounded like footsteps.
We have a bit of an explore about.
Somebody set that trap. This whole place could be wired.
If you go too close to anything like fusion containment cells, they detonate. But fortunately, we can deal with them. Because, yeah, biotic powers can be used to detonate them before they attack you. So let's just head into the cockpit. No sign of anyone, and play the logs.
Jacob is showing no signs of brain activity. There's nothing more we can do for him. He wouldn't want to be kept alive by machines, so we're going to disconnect the life support. Dr. Smith is worried about Julia's reaction, though. She can't seem to let Jacob go.
Meanwhile, head through to the crew quarters.
Jacob's gone. They say his brain isn't functioning anymore, and they want to shut off his machines. But Jacob's the only thing in the world that matters to me. I don't know how to help him, and it's tearing me up inside. I just feel so helpless, so damn angry.
And then one final set of log.
Jacob's not going to make it. His brain was deprived of oxygen for too long. There's nothing any of us can do for him now except let him die with dignity. It's what he would want. I'm more worried about Julia now. She's showing signs of severe depression. I gave her some meds that should help, but I better warn the captain.
So, between those three logs and, a red blob appears on the map. Sure you will, Julia.
I will destroy you!
Nope. Yep. I hope she's talking about the ceiling right now. Liara.
I will destroy you!
I'm gonna be honest, Julia, you're not doing well right now.
I will destroy you!
Look, just go and have a nap over there. You'll feel better.
I
Gotta love how she just keeps saying that over and over every time we hit her with biotics. Poor Julia. So yes, the story of this ship is basically one of the crew members was deprived of oxygen in some sort of accident, and they decided to put him out of his misery, but his girlfriend kind of went a bit mad with grief and decided that everyone would be killed in order that Jacob himself, who's right here, could be alive. And then if we examine his life support machine...
Looks like that machine is keeping him alive.
I do not see any brain activity on the readouts. He is dead. This body is just an empty shell.
So, sadly, we can't help him.
Maybe we should shut the machine down. It's the merciful thing to do.
That was the compassionate thing to do, Shepard.
And there we are. That's it. I love this little submission. It's just a tiny little snapshot into the lives of the crew here. It's great. Anyway, let's nip back to the Normandy. That done, we should feel free to head on to Han. And this is where the actual second crime boss is. So this is Mavigon within Han, and this is the only planet you can land on in the system. So, with a level 1 cold hazard, let's head there. So here we are on Mavigon. As you can see, not exactly easy terrain and not exactly friendly weather either. Things can certainly be a little bit easier for us here. We shall crack on our way, and luckily en route to the hideout that we are heading to, there is some what looks like some cool stuff on the map. So let's just nip and get that. So, as we finally reach the base on the top of this mountain, we discover, obviously, it is in fact got some defences on it, but that's fine. There's nothing too bad here, all things considered. We just wait for, okay, just wait for a thing. Yep, I think we're in a good shape right now. And then just get inside. Yep, looks like no one was shot on the way in. That is good. And now we are in the bunker. And I'll just quickly clear out everyone and rejoin you when we have dealt with most of them, because I think you probably know roughly what a bunker fight against generic mercenaries looks like by now. Okay, that's both crime lords defeated. Lovely. That was a fairly uninteresting fight. It was, aside from the fact this... I'm so sorry. And while I've been doing some looting, I've just noticed I've also leveled up, so I will quickly take care of that too. Shepard gets more in electronics, Liara more in first aid, Caden more in medicine. So that done, it's time to go and meet Helena Blake. And you'll find her in the Horsehead Nebula. And you may remember last time we came here there were only 2 systems here. Obviously, getting this far in this quest has opened up a third one, and we can now go to Fortuna. And we are heading for this planet here, Amaranthine. Which again has, well, I'm not sure if it's got a cold one on it, but it's described as a chilly world. I don't know why both these crime bosses and Helena Blake herself have all decided that they're going to live on cold planets. So here we are on Amaranthine, which appears to be it's a dark world, but it's a world that kind of, I don't know, it looks like it kind of glitters to me. It's got a weird kind of eerie glow about it on the wind. I like it. I like the way it looks. Anyway, I'm just going to do a quick spot of scavenging around, and I will meet you. I'll meet you outside Helena Blake's compound. So here we are. This is Helena Blake's stronghold, and obviously she did ask us to go and murder 2 of her former business associates, as well as a whole bunch of other people. We agreed to do it because they were criminals, but one can't help but feel that this is a trap. Still, no sign of red on the map immediately. But here's Helena Blake.
Hello again, Commander Shepard. I owe you a debt of gratitude. With my former partners dead, this syndicate is now mine. I could not have done it without you.
We're not done yet.
I killed them because they deserved it. Now I'm placing you under arrest.
These crimes are hardly worth your time. If you press the issue, my assistants are very well equipped to deal with you.
But fortunately, having maxed out charm, and I'm pretty sure you do need to have an absolutely full max charm, you can talk her down. Walk away, Helena.
If I disband the gang, I walk away freely. I have not come so far to be arrested. Do we have a deal?
For now.
You're free to go. I don't ever want to see this gang again. If I do...
You won't. I'm not so foolish as to...
That was the slowest interruption I've ever seen. And there we go. That is the quest actually resolved peacefully. And don't feel you need to be, like subtle or tactful or anything. You can now just go in and get your guns out much as you want. Absolutely fine. Hello? No? Nothing to say to me? That's fine. Yep, you can just run in, run around. We could loot the place too, which is nice. Fun thing is, you can even basically be hostile around these guys. Aside from pulling out guns, even better, obviously. This guy is standing right next to a, two of these things. So you can then, yeah, you can detonate both of those, and he'll pull out his guns and go into action mode, but he will not attack you, and neither will anyone else. They will, however, start yelling their slogan. I think you just heard in the background there, go, go, go! Yeah, they love doing that. They love doing that. Anyway, that's Helena Blake taken care of. So, we're free to leave the Horsehead Nebula, but unfortunately all of this looting from all these subquests has left me with a lot of items, so I need to nip back and do a quick selling and buying trip at the Citadel. I will let you know if I actually buy anything of interest there. So I've just sold all my stuff, and I now have about 9.5 million credits, so magnificent work there, Shepard. I am buying the Shield Interface 9 for 500,000 credits. I've picked up Medigel upgrades 4 and 5, as well as a new license for the Normandy. We've also picked up the Geth Armory license, which sounds very exciting indeed. Incidentally, I know that there's not really much point in me collecting licenses at all, because I don't need guns, but I don't know, I like having some exotic guns available to me. And yet another license. Oh, they're so cheap, why not? So, that's all I need from the Citadel, so we can now be on our way. And the next thing I want to head to is an area I haven't been to yet, Hawking Eater. And there's only one system available for us in Hawking Eater, and that is Century. So, let's head there.
An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hawking Eater cluster. We sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. But something happened to him at Torfin.
So, as we can hear, we've got a biotic cult leader to deal with. And as you also heard, obviously, if my Shepard had gone down the psychological profile of being ruthless, and thus having kind of been involved in a really bloody messy mission on Torfan, then obviously this would be kind of my personal mission, in the same way that dealing with tombs is for me being the sole survivor. But anyway, let's go and have a chat with this guy who is on that moon there, Press Rob. So here we are at the compound, and rather unusually it has a bunker, but you can see already that that is locked up at the moment, so we can't get in there just at the moment. Instead, we have to start at the compound itself. We don't go in incidentally, instead we have to have a little chat with the people who are inside.
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
And I just need to see Major Kyle.
We won't let you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
Luckily, thanks to my very high level of charm, I can convince them that he does need my help.
Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
Do you mind if I just come in and have a look around your stuff first? And just like the guys who were in Helena Blake's compound, there's absolutely nothing to just stop us wandering in once we've kind of peacefully resolved the situation and robbing them blind. They really don't care. Hello! And incidentally, if you do come here but you don't have good enough Paragon to resolve this peacefully and have to fight your way through this area, I'm pretty sure this console here is the one that opens up the bunker. So once you've sufficiently robbed them blind, and either opened up the bunker by talking them into it or simply by shooting your way through, you can enter the bunker itself. Inside, once again, everything is peaceful for the moment. No one is attacking you yet. One thing I don't think I've ever actually seen is what happens if a character who did do Torfan comes and speaks to Father Kyle, especially if you're doing this renegade style, where pretty much therefore you're completely unashamed about your role in the Torfan massacre. I'm kind of curious. I imagine that would be quite an intense moment if you came and tried to use Intimidate skill and Renegade in general to disarm Father Kyle. I wonder, I honestly don't know what that looks like, but I'd kind of be curious to see it.
You ordered your followers to kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen.
I'm sorry. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
I'm gonna trust you.
So, you should return to the Normandy and notify the Alliance of Kyle's surrender. They'll want to dispatch a ship to take him into custody. So again, this is nicely one of the missions in the game that can be completed entirely without any violence whatsoever, and indeed very, very quickly indeed if you come to it once you have high enough charm. So let's just head back to the Normandy and see if Hackett's pleased with the resolution and whether Kyle actually honours his word. And just before we leave this planet forever, this one's pretty, just because it's a moon and there's the main planet there and the starry sky. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it's such a lovely game in general. Oh. So, let's find out what happened next.
Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
So there we are, happy ending. And with that done, we can pull out of Century and indeed Hawking Eater. That's literally all there is in that area. One thing I want to show that I haven't shown yet, or rather I haven't officially shown yet, the Exodus cluster. I haven't actually been in here within any of the game I've shown you. However, I can pop in here. There's only one system here. It's Utopia. It's a very pretty galaxy. It's a very big galaxy, but there is only one thing here, and that is Utopia. And you can visit it. And this is where Eden Prime actually is. So you can't land on Eden Prime again. It's also kind of nice to see that the picture of Eden Prime is taken during the daytime, so it's a completely different colour scheme to how you normally see Eden Prime. So yeah, Eden Prime is actually here, which is kind of cool. So it does actually exist on the galaxy map. It is actually somewhere. There is incidentally literally nothing else here. None of these planets have any resources. It's kind of purely for world building sake that obviously right next to the local cluster. So you know, obviously this is the first place that humanity decided to settle, is this place Exodus cluster, where obviously you know this is where humanity's exodus was. And within that they set up Utopia, where they had all these planets called things like Eden Prime and Arcadia. So I don't know, I think it's lovely, kind of just for a little bit of universe building. Another thing I want to touch on quickly is another area, in fact actually the one of the last areas I haven't actually been to yet, and that's the Armstrong Nebula. There's a very good reason for that, so I'm just going to nip in there quickly.
Message coming in from the brass at Arcturus. Patching it through.
Normandy, Admiral Hackett here. We're getting reports of a marked increase in Geth activity in the Skyllian Verge. Surveillance drones have identified Geth outposts on 4 different planets in the Armstrong cluster. We need someone to take them out.
So the Armstrong Nebula is, as you heard, basically a place where you can go and deal with where you can go down and deal with 4 Geth outposts. The problem is I cannot complete this mission. This is one of the few missions in the game I physically cannot complete, because basically each of these is a little bit different. Like sometimes you need to take out all the Geth missile turrets, and sometimes you have to take out a bunch of Geth on the ground, and sometimes you have to go into their bunkers and clear them out. But unfortunately, one of them, a Geth dropship, shows up and drops an infinite supply of troops over and over and over again. And the only way to win against it is to destroy it. And unfortunately, as I can't use guns, either on the Maker or on foot, there's no way for me to damage it, because Warp doesn't have the range to touch it. It's too high up in the air, so I can't get anywhere close to it. So I physically cannot destroy it, so I cannot complete this mission. Obviously, the downside of that is this mission, when it gets completed, you get some data on the Geth that Tali uses in her pilgrimage. So sadly, Tali will not be getting that from her pilgrimage, which is very, very sad. But I hope that she finds something else nice for her pilgrimage instead. I'm just going to quickly go into each of these one by one, just to kind of survey all the planets. But I won't actually be going down onto the ground because I physically can't complete this quest. I should specify there are other problems too, just while I'm just kind of cycling around. There's one planet where it's basically nothing but missile turrets, and obviously, while I can destroy those using sabotage, it's a bloody pain. And there's one planet where there's a load of Geth armor, and I think also one Geth Colossus. and obviously without being able to blow them up, that is a real disaster. So yeah, I don't even know if that's, I mean, it might just be possible, but like, it's so difficult, it's borderline pointless, especially when one of them definitely can't be completed. So I just thought I'd quickly actually show this off, as it's actually quite easy to get to. So this is one of the 4 worlds. This is Hong, and as we head in towards where the Geth encampment on this particular world is, and in a moment we will find. Right, this is a fun place to be then. Right. Okay, just need to keep moving while dealing with all of these guys. Okay, just take them out quickly. Oops, someone's aiming at me. Okay. Everyone back up on your feet, please. Double overload takes care of him. Yep, he's not coming back down from that. And then there's one guy who managed to survive being dropped on the floor. Where's he? Yep. And down he goes. And now, problem. Severe problem, in fact. What we will find is, if we quickly just head up out of the way. Yeah. Just let me hide for a second, please. Just need to do some healing for a second. Caden, would you mind? The Mako's kind of on fire right now, so anything you could do to stop that would be magnificent. Well, bloody done, Caden. Alright, so we've dealt with all of those guys, but now you will see a Geth dropship shows up, which spawns infinite troops. And there is, as far as I can tell, no way that I can deal with that darn thing at all. I mean, obviously, the way you're supposed to deal with it is with your Mako's cannon. But I just don't see any realistic way of doing this. 'Cause it just floats there. And yeah, exactly, I'm just supposed to be cannoning it, really, but the way things are at the moment, I don't see what I can do, really. I mean, I'll go down, I'll show you, like, as close as I can get. Because standing right underneath it will be the closest point that I can get to it, so... Oh! Alright, get guns out. And obviously it just keeps dropping more stuff off. But as you see here, I can try and warp it, but the warp doesn't do anything. The warp has no effect whatsoever. So, yeah, there's just not much I can do, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's why this mission is completely uncompletable. It's not just annoying, it cannot be done. I am, however, sad that that mission cannot be done, because that mission I really love, because once you've cleared out the full Geth outpost, you found like the coordinates to where the Geth main base is in the area, and that's I think it's in a 5th entirely separate system, so you can go to that. And if you go there and if you clear it out, what you find is that the Geth are listening to Quarian music, and I think it's like I think it might be the only instance in Mass Effect 1 of the Geth kind of being a hint that they're more sympathetic than just being killbots, that there's something more deep to them, and obviously that was fleshed out a lot more in Mass Effect 2 especially, but I don't know, I just think it's lovely just to, once you finish storming the main Geth base, you discover that they were actually just listening to music. Geth, they would just listen to music, to Quarian music the whole time. I think it's a lovely touch. And also what I find interesting is, because they were listening to Quarian music and thus seem to be interested rather than, just in opposition to Quarians and all living things, I would like to speculate that the Geth that you meet here in this system, in the Armstrong Nebula, are actually part of Legion's Geth. They're not the heretics. The most of the Geth that you're fighting in this game are the heretic Geth, obviously. But I'd like to speculate that these are not the heretic Geth, these are Legion's Geth. So actually they're friendly Geth, they're just defending themselves, and you go along and you murder them because you are a monster who is racist against robots. So yes, there's that. And there's one more thing that I want to cover today, and this will pretty much therefore finish up, I think, all of the outstanding submissions that we've got. So I want to head back into the Voyager cluster. And we are heading into Amazon. And this is the world you want. Agibinium? Agibinium? I think that's Agibinium, I'd say. And obviously it doesn't exactly look like an appealing world, but let's head down there. So here we are on this lovely red planet. Apologies, I actually triggered the briefing for this mission in an earlier part, but I cut it out because I wasn't doing it in that part, so I didn't want to kind of confuse things. But basically what has happened here is a probe that was sent out by the Alliance during the first contact war versus the Turians has, its little transponder signals just started bleeping. And that's very, very bad because at this point, the Alliance didn't really know what galactic etiquette was. And that unfortunately means that they decided to put a nuclear bomb into the probe so that if it was tampered with, it would explode so that no one would be able to see what was going on in it, and also so that it will blow up any Turians that tried to tamper with it. Now, unfortunately, since then, of course, humans and Turians have become a little bit more friendly, and they've had a chat, and they've realised that it's not generally considered au fait in the galaxy to go booby-trapping satellites with explosives. So, basically, this is a bit embarrassing for the Alliance, and they'd like me to get in there and either dispose of, dismantle, something like that, this thing before it becomes a diplomatic incident. So, follow the transponder signal, and you find mysteriously it leads into this mine, which is a bit odd, because a crashed probe is hardly going to crash into a mine.
This did not crash. Someone moved it here.
Thanks for agreeing, Liara. So, once again, we are in the mine. And, yep, everything looks exactly as it usually does. Mass Effect 1. You could have done with just a bit more refreshing. Just sometimes maybe invert the mine so this path goes right rather than left. It would be great. And we head down here, and obviously you'll see there's no red on our map. And there's no enemies at all. We're just in a mine, which is interesting. So we just head to the back, and this particular one is closed for once. That means we have to head down deeper and deeper. And we're heading down into the very furthest bit of the mine. And here we are in this room. And, oh.
That was a detonator, Commander.
Shepard, at last.
And who would you be, aside from the fact I already know that you're Ilanos Halliot? So one of the things I didn't want to cover off in this episode was all of the special missions. So obviously, as we mentioned earlier, the mission where we met up with Father Kyle, that's the special mission for the Shepard whose recent history was Torfan. If you decided to go for the psychological profile of war hero, i.e. you were the person who defended a colony against the Skillian Blitz, then yeah, this is your special mission, because in that case, this is the guy who you stopped taking over during the Skillian Blitz. This is the guy whose fleet you defended, whose fleet you fought off during that Blitz. So, but in this case, yeah, I don't know him because I wasn't there.
I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz. What better way to recover my reputation than by eliminating the first human Spectre?
So this would normally be, if you were a war hero, this would be like his revenge against you for foiling him, but as I didn't foil him, he's just taking his revenge on me because that's a good way of getting his reputation back. There's no time to get out, you'll have to disable the bomb before it goes off. One thing I like about this section is it just slightly slows down to increase the tension, and then speeds up as you could do it. It's quite good. And then disable the next hard point. So it starts off really slow, and then I think it just slowly picks up the pace to make it kind of just make you a bit more tense. The time limits are not too bad, actually. It's actually quite difficult to mess up. Unless you actively panic and hit a wrong button, the time is quite generous. And then final hard point. And that should be all of them. I think there's only 3. You've disabled the bomb. Yay, go me. Apparently disabling a nuclear bomb is actually pretty damn easy, so that's good. Sadly, no loot down here. No loot at all. And you can't run, obviously. If you try and run, you will be exploded. So that's very sad. But now, obviously, this door has opened, which is good. You can't go back out the way you came. Instead, you've got to go out this back way. And this is a back door. There you go. There it is. So that's pretty useful. So now we're outside, but obviously we don't have the Mako. And also apparently I leveled up without realising it, so let's just sort that out. First aid for Liara, and excellently maxed out medicine and master neural shock for Caden. Lovely. So if you run over to the edge where you are, you will see relatively quickly that there is a camp down there. So yes, if you've got a sniper rifle, you can kind of zoom in and have a closer look at them. Basically, there's a whole bunch of them there. They've got your Mako and they've kind of shoved it over there. So they've basically grabbed your Mako and driven it round to their camp. Presumably they know you're not dead at this point because the nuclear bomb hasn't gone off, so they'd realise that. But yes, so they're all down there. So there's kind of two ways of doing this. You can either, the easy way is pretty much to use your own comrades as bait, just send them down there and let them be the distraction while you just run for the Mako. When you hop in the Mako, they teleport in it with you, and then you just basically run up to the top of that cliff over there and just snipe down long range. That makes it incredibly easy even on Insanity. That's actually by far the easiest way of doing it. I just like to kind of do this normally, to be honest. I think there's probably an easy way of doing it. So if I just run in, yep, if I just run in, I think I can handle this quite simply, actually. Just, hi guys, I'm alive. Right, you are going up. Because, of course, we're outside, so these guys are screwed. There's the bloke himself. Caden, lift up the man himself. Oh, there he goes. He's going that way. And we'll throw a warp on him for the moment. Neural shock on him. And lift on those guys. Lovely. Unity to get myself back up. And quick heal. I'm going to get my shield boost back on. That pirate is not coming back down. Oh, hello. Oh, he's in trouble. Caden, knock him away, please. Lovely. And you are going to die to a warp, my good friend. Yep, you're dying. Bye. Oh, few people rising up there. Lovely, including several bits of architecture. And let's make sure he doesn't come back down. And you can go down. Yeah, I don't think any of those guys are coming back down again, quite frankly. Oi! Shield boost. Just get my shield back up, please. Get that sniper out of the way. Yeah, you can go into space. Warp for the guy with the immunity, because he'll be screwed as a result. Toss on my barrier. Oh, I don't have much I can do to this guy right now. This is bad. Oh, I can singularity you. Yeah, that's all I can do at the moment. I can just singularity you. I'm ready to heal whenever I need to, though. And just need to get my unity up. Let's just send you into space first. Oi, get back here, you. Uh-oh. Oh no. This is embarrassing. I can't get him. Never mind. Oh, apparently there's someone back here. Oh, hello. Who are you? Oh, you survived. Well, bloody done. Yeah, not for long you don't. And yeah, your life is ticking away quickly. Yeah, bye. Now, back up towards the Mako, which I'm just going to use for cover. I'm not actually going to use it for any... I'm not actually going to use it. I'm just going to use it for cover. Though actually, no, I'm going to use it as a free regenerator. Yeah, there you go. And pop back out. And they're back alive again. Kind of cheating. Whoop. Okay, up you go. You're pretty heavy. I assume you're a Krogan, are you? Yeah, you look like a Krogan. And he can go off, and I'm pretty sure he is not coming back down again. Yep, he's just a little twinkly star, and yep, there he goes. Oh, no. Wow. I think he might have actually survived that on account of the fact... You guys still shooting? You happy to put your guns away? Yes, you are. All right, lovely. Oh no, those guys, there's still people alive over here. Alright, fine, we'll take care of you quickly. Hello. Looks like a few people we pushed came back down. Now, okay, we're going to keep an eye on you to make sure you don't come back. Okay, let's just check the experience. Wow, I think both of them survived. You actually survived that. Well, wow. You didn't even come close to dying. You did really well. Right. This time you've been warped. Yeah, this time you're not coming back. Yeah, you're not coming back down from that one. Now, I think that should be everyone.
It's over now.
Oh, I think I just heard Liara say something. Good. That probably means we are in good shape. And there we are. That is the guy who was responsible for the Skillian Blitz dealt with. Admittedly, you'd never heard of the Skillian Blitz before today if you weren't the war hero profile. So if so, sorry, never mind. Let's just check if there's actually something specific we need to do here, given there is a little X. No, nothing here, I think.
I smell trouble.
Do you? Where? Let's hop in the Mako. Interestingly, when you hop in the Mako, your map zooms out miles, so you can like see where trouble is much more easily. Yep, there you go. So now we can find out where somebody is. Somebody who is apparently still flipping alive. You guys are seriously tough. Okay, never mind though. There we go. We just need to stomp on him a bit.
Got it.
I'll just let him get up. Hello. Yeah, I know you've got a shotgun. It's great. Now, this warp just stop you regenerating. And you can head off into space. You're going to come back down again? Oh, there he goes. Here he comes. Yeah. Elliot went for a lot of trouble to draw you here. Pity it ended like this, for him at least. Now you're above ground, your suit radio has re-established connection with the Normandy. Time to get the hell out of here. Indeed it is. Magnificent. So there you go. That is, I think, every submission that we can have received at this point completed, actually. Geth Incursions has not been done because, as I say, it can't be done, sadly, which is a terrible shame. But there is no way to do that at all. So, and then the other one is obviously the distress signal on Megog, was that it? Metgog, that was it. Metgog, the annoying volcanic planet that I'm not going to because I hate that planet and I hold it against it forever. That was the planet that nearly made me miss out on the whole Mass Effect series. So I won't be going there because it's pointless and yes. There's no interesting plot, there's no story to it whatsoever. It's just you go across. You take a tank across a mountainous version of hell, and then some Geth pop up, and I can't do anything to them under this rule set. So yes, I'm just going to do a quick bit of buying and selling with my requisition officer. But and then next time we're heading back to the main story because next time we're going to Virmire. We're going to go to Virmire, and we are going to therefore do the final of the 4 main plot missions, and then it's on to the end game. We're actually getting surprisingly close to the end now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I love Virmire. It's a fantastic mission. There's loads of good plot there. There's loads of fun stuff going on. But yeah, so that's next week. And in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Menu True Nerd, and this has been Mass Effect No Guns. Thank you very much, and goodbye.